Doctor Who has had some big story points in the last 60 years, but do you remember when a second Big Bang was set off and how it revived the universe? This story was the culmination of a series-long arc in Matt Smith's tenure as the 11th Doctor. Known as the Total Event Collapse, this was a story from showrunner Steven Moffat. While it was a confusing arc, it marked a big step up from other series finales. Strap in Whovians, this story arc was known to be confusing. However, in today's Doctor Who Explained series from Tardis Central, we'll teach you about the Total Event Collapse. Therefore, you'll understand a pivotal plot point in Doctor Who's history right in time for the 60th anniversary episodes. Let's go! Greetings everyone, I'm Jack, and welcome to Tardis Central. If you want to keep up to date on all the latest Doctor Who news, lore, and more, then make sure to hit that subscribe button to never miss a video from the team here at Tardis Central. You can also follow us on social media for daily updates on the Doctor Who universe. As always, please let us know your thoughts in the comment section below, because if you're talking about Doctor Who, then we want to hear about it. Plus, what should we explain to you next? What do you want to know about? Get commenting. The story arc began pretty simple, with a crack in Amy's bedroom wall. Following the 10th Doctor's destructive regeneration, the TARDIS crash-landed in her backyard. The fresh and energetic 11th Doctor analysed the crack, pressing together parts of space and time that should never touch. It was through this that Prisoner Zero escaped from the Atraxi, terrorising Amy for most of her life. Amy, Roy, and the Doctor banded together to signal the Atraxi to Prisoner Zero. However, before it was eventually captured and the world was saved, it said, "Silence will fall." Thus, between the cracks in time and references to silence, the series was juggling with two arcs at once. It was an ambitious multi-series incident, and to keep things short and as simple as possible, this series will be focusing on things that only happened in Series 5. After Prisoner Zero escaped, a couple of years from Amy's perspective, she began travelling with the Doctor. The cracks in time followed the pair around their travels, often hidden just out of sight, like in Victory of the Daleks, where it was on the wall behind the TARDIS. Their true nature, however, wasn't revealed until Flesh and Stone. The cracks were capable of erasing people from existence. They posed a much greater threat in the episode than the Weeping Angels, as they erased the soldiers, protecting Amy one by one, only due to the TARDIS and time travel, with the Doctor and Amy's memories left intact. At the end of the episode, Riversong teases the next time she'll meet them will be the opening of a Pandorica. The Doctor dismisses the Pandorica as a fairy tale, although we know that she ends up being correct. There's a lot of great foreshadowing in the series, the sort of stuff that at least warrants a second viewing. To add to the cracks' destruction, at the end of Cold Blood, Rory dies. Worse yet, he's absorbed into the crack and Amy completely forgets him. That's not all, the Doctor pulls something out of the crack as well, a fragment of the TARDIS exterior. It's one of those endings that overshadows the rest of the episode in its scale, and unfortunately Rory's death. As Vincent van Gogh had a vision of the TARDIS exploding, he paints it. This hidden painting is then passed through the hands of the Doctor's allies. Eventually, it allows Riversong to summon the Doctor to the early 2nd century, where she's leading a Roman army posing as Cleopatra. Lots happening here in the opening scene, but it's nothing compared to what is coming up. Between Pandora's Box being Amy's favourite story, Roman history being her favourite subject, and Roy being reincarnated as a Roman, something sinister is afoot. You see, the Nestine Consciousness used the cracks to scan Amy's memory, to create the perfect lure. This forced the Doctor's hand, playing all the cards to bring him to Stonehenge. It's quite a strong reveal. All of the Doctor's enemies, from the Daleks, the Cybermen, Sontarans, Silurians, and just about every other monster you can imagine, have joined forces. Honestly, I think this was an excuse for the prop department to probably get out every costume over the last 10 years at this point. This alliance had heard the legend of the impending TARDIS explosion. To prevent it, they're going to trap the Doctor in the Pandorica. Sadly, the Doctor is closed in the Pandorica, and the Roman army unveil themselves as Autons. This includes Roy, who shoots Amy as she begins to remember him. However, Roy rebels against his programming and goes on to help the Doctor, and gives Roy instructions to save the universe. That's right, the universe is dead. The Alliance's plan worked, but the prophecy wasn't entirely correct. As we established recently, the TARDIS exploding would destroy the universe. Check out our video on whether you can destroy the TARDIS. But the Doctor's not the only one capable of flying the TARDIS, something the Alliance failed to take into account. Whoops. The TARDIS pilot was none other than Riversong. As she flies the TARDIS into the time vortex, she finds it had been sabotaged. The ship had been rigged to explode, as the voice repeats the "silence will fall" phrase on a loop. It's a really threatening aurora, and something that wasn't explained in Series 5. While we found our answers about the science and their motives later on, we never did find out how they rigged the TARDIS to explode. Though perhaps the science are a discussion best left for another time. The TARDIS, as a safety feature, puts the console room into a time loop. This protects River in the TARDIS, as it and Earth, which are ground zero for the Pandorica incident, are the only things that remain in the universe. All of time is collapsing, and Earth is temporarily spared the collapse due to being in the eye of a storm. The alliance of enemies will turn to stone, with them and the Pandorica becoming a museum exhibit. The Doctor, using a vortex manipulator, jumps in 1996, while Roy defends the Pandorica for nearly 2,000 years. This is where the Big Finish Lone Centaurian series is set, and it's well worth a listen if you want to explore a fun alternate history. In 1996, the Pandorica opens again. The Doctor takes young Amy to the museum, where Roy is now working as a guard. For the first time in a millennia, the two Amys, the Doctor and Auton Roy, are properly reunited. The Doctor then leaps around using a vortex manipulator to fix his current situation, before he meets his future dying self on a set of stairs. This doesn't deter them though, as they escape onto the roof. While the moon survives just fine, all the stars went supernova at the same time. But wait, the sun's a star, so why is it glowing like a ball in the sky? It's the TARDIS. Remember River in the TARDIS on fire from earlier? She's been trapped in the same time loop for nearly 2,000 years. After the Doctor discovers this, he teleports in there and gets her out.
Hi honey, I'm home.
And what sort of time do you call this?
The team then face off against a Dalek, revived from being a stone statue by the light of the Pandorica. This is where the Doctor is shot and he disappears back into the stairs and dies, about 12 minutes earlier. It's one of River's best moments in the series as she faces the Dalek alone. From hearing her name alone, the Dalek starts begging for mercy. Iconic. It turns out the Doctor didn't die though, he's just very seriously injured. He spent the last 12 minutes climbing inside the Pandorica, free from being chased by the Dalek. He sends the Pandorica into the exploding TARDIS to heal the event collapse. With particles of the universe remaining inside the Pandorica, it creates a second Big Bang, bringing back the universe. Now the Doctor then is able to close all the cracks in time that we saw throughout the series, saying a final goodbye to a sleeping Amy. With that, he removes himself from the universe and everything goes back to normal. We then cut to Amy on her wedding day. Her parents have been restored, absent from the rest of the season. Roy's also been brought back to life and is now no longer plastic thanks to Amy's memory. The two get married without any issues, except Amy starts crying at reception due to feeling the absence of someone. It turns out that across his speeches, the Doctor implanted himself in Amy's memories. In that moment, the Doctor is brought back into the universe with Amy and Rory's memories of their child was restored. The Doctor celebrates their wedding with them before taking them on a honeymoon trip in the TARDIS. It was a great way to close out the series, but questions remained: who rigged the TARDIS to blow, and what did science will fall mean? We'll have those answers in another proper explaining video sometime soon. But did that actually make sense to you? Does the whole total event collapse and those mysterious cracks in time now make a lot more sense in Doctor Who's vast history? We hope so. So, that was the Series 5 finale, Total Event Collapse. A dangerous end to the universe caused by the TARDIS. Thankfully, the Doctor was able to save the day, but literally rebooted the universe in the process. While great, it is such a convoluted mess of time travel, so hopefully we've condensed it for you and maybe even made sense of it. Honestly, it was confusing to even understand this. We'll have some more 11th Doctor Explained videos coming out in the near future, as the story of our favourite show only gets crazier from here. What did you make of a Series 5 finale? Did you actually make sense of what you were watching? Tell us your thoughts down in the comment section below. If you want to keep up to date on all the latest Doctor Who news, lore and more, then make sure to hit that subscribe button to never miss a video from the team here at Tardis Central. You can also follow us on social media for daily updates on the Doctor Who universe. That's it from Tardis Central. I've been Jack, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.